by Jim Lindheim.
I can't believe we have to go through this again. We've been through it so many times.
But I love you, I love you, I love you.
You know it can't happen. We can't happen.
I refuse to accept that. It's a new world. No one cares anymore about the old stereotypes, the old way of looking at things. Boundaries are crossed all the time.
You're dreaming. The boundary between us cannot be moved.
You're a person.
I'm a corporation.
Well, corporations are people too, you know that.
Most humans don't believe that I'm a person, and nowadays there's a whole movement afoot to change the Constitution and declare me a non-person.
Oh, they can't do that. You're here, you exist, and you're beautiful.
Well, I am well-branded, if that's what you mean by I mean, truth be told, I had a major branding update done a year or so ago. Perked everything right up.
I love your new corporate logo.
Oh, thanks. I spent more on it than I meant to, but I think it's worth it. I get lots of compliments on it.
Well, listen, I know that we could make this work. Somewhere there's a judge or a minister or someone that could marry us.
But I've told you, I don't marry. You know how it is with marriage. Two human beings only. Me, I can only merge. Trust me, I would never even consider a merger until I'd gone through a strategic partnership for a couple of years. I would need to know whether our cultures were compatible.
Cultures? We call them personalities.
I see. Besides, you can't go around making a merger if you're not sure there's going to be some synergy somewhere, like some cost savings.
You mean like two can live cheaper than one?
We call it synergy.
I see. Well, if you won't marry me, perhaps you could be my S Corp or my LLC.
No way! It's asking me to give up my own identity. I would just become an appendage to you. My profits would just flow into your pocket. And talk about losing my personhood. I don't think so.
But that's how people and corporations do it. That's the legal way to cross over the divide between us. It's sort of like a merger.
You don't know, do you? What a merger's really like. It's like the best thing ever. We start with a titillating courtship. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. And then there's the excitement of the back and forth negotiations, the dance of information, the thrust and parry of half-truths, knowing that everyone is understating their potential liabilities, the sessions that go till dawn, that terrible day when you face the due diligence audit reports and all that time, all that delicious temptation to engage in insider trading, but you can't, but you want to so bad. And then, finally, the climax. And then the deal is done. You dot the I's, you cross the T's, and then finally you shake hands, and suddenly everything is different. Sure, there's that golden afterglow of the public announcement, but then it's real work. Now you can actually start merging. You meld departments, you design new signage, you hand out pink slips, play Russian roulette for who goes and who stays, you package people out, you shed facilities, and then, after all that work, all that carnage, all that angst, all those hard decisions, you finally get what you've always dreamed of. The first consolidated financials. You want me to become your S Corp, your little LLC.
You know something? I think you've just made my point. Humans think corporations aren't like regular people, but you see, you are. You do feel things just like real people do. That was pretty darn sexy what you did just then.
Corporations are never sexy. Attractive, maybe. High-flying, maybe. Leading edge, world-class, but I've never heard of a sexy corporation.
Yeah, but people don't realize how much you're like them. You do all the same things. You go to work, you make money, you have good days, you have bad days. Okay, so maybe you don't like eat food, but gee, you devour raw materials, you take stuff in, you cook it up, you process it just like us.
Yeah, and then when we're done, we just eliminate waste material.
Right.
And people think we can't have families, but we do. I mean, haven't you ever heard of a family of companies? The Johnson & Johnson family of companies. Oh, and don't forget, we can have babies. We do spin-offs all the time, usually after an incubation period.
Right. And it's not like you don't have human foibles. You make mistakes.
Do we ever? Remember New Coke? The Edsel? BP saying the spill was small.
And some good human stuff too, like caring. There are caring corporations, right? Come on. Like you care for your customers, right?
Well, I suppose you could call that caring. We think of it as public relations. Yes, we like to keep them happy, coming back for more.
Right. And you don't want to hurt them, right?
Oh, of course not, because they'll sue. So we warn the hell out of them. I mean, don't do this, don't do that, don't even use the goddamn product, just buy it.
And your employees, you care about them, right?
Oh, the ones we keep, sure, for as long as we need them.
And just like humans, you love recognition and praise, don't you?
You mean like a good S&P rating?
Right, like that. Well, what can't you do that humans do?
Well, the one that I hate most is that we can't discriminate. I mean, we have to treat every ugly, old, obese person like they're young and pretty. You humans don't have to do that. You get to sneer at fat people.
Huh, I never thought of that.
You know what else we can't do? We can't vote. Do you believe that? Talk about taxation without representation. We are the last persons in America who are denied the right to vote.
Well, I have to admit, I can sort of see that one. I mean, frankly, ever since you got the right to engage in politics, it's been a little, well, lopsided. Kind of off balance between you and the real people.
The right to engage in politics? You mean our right to petition the government about issues that impact our bottom line?
Well, I don't know about your rights, but it does seem like you're trying to kind of buy elections.
Well, that's because most of the candidates we like can't afford to buy their own elections anymore. Of course we're going to try to buy elections. That's because we aren't allowed to vote in them.
I don't know. I just can't see that, giving corporations a vote.
And there you have it. The stupid human ability to make a dumb distinction. Oh, you're fine if I give you a job or make a smartphone for you or come up with a new ice cream flavor. But you don't want to give me the right to vote.
Well, yes.
Well, what about the Bill of Rights?
Well, I'm pretty sure the Constitution and the Bill of Rights were meant to cover people, you know, biological people.
Gee, somehow I guess I missed that in the preamble. We, the biological people of the United States.
Well, corporations became people later, after the Constitution was written.
Corporations became people 40 years before the slaves. How come the slaves got the vote and we didn't?
But I don't think anyone meant for corporations
To be treated like humans.
Right.
Well, it's just as well.
Why do you say that?
Actually, don't want to be a human being. I think you're silly.
Excuse me? Silly?
Yes, silly, irrational, emotional, foolish.
And corporations are never irrational or foolish?
Only very rarely. We live by calculations, by analysis. We evaluate results, judge ourselves by a bottom line. I mean, frankly, we're the only rational persons around. Because when we're not rational, we fail. We go out of business. Human beings, when they're irrational and emotional, they don't go out of business. They're totally in business. Emotions over reason. That's the MO of human beings. People are easy to manipulate because people hate to think. They just want to cuddle up with their prejudices and with other people who share their prejudices.
Well, what about love? Is love just for irrational, emotional human beings, or can corporations love?
Corporations can love, but we love for a purpose. We love making money. We love to grow. We love corporate jets.
So, can you ever love me?
No. No, I can't. Not unless I give up my personhood, the kind of person I am, a corporation.
But I love you.
Then become a shareholder. Then maybe I'll give a shit.